Thank you so much for finding the time and agreeing to have a chat. The goal really was to just take this opportunity as we're all stuck at home a bit to, I really specifically help hotels who are feeling alone and stuck at home and thinking, this is what's going on in my world. What should I be doing? What are other people thinking? To just get a sense of what the community are sort of thinking about. And obviously you've had a lot of experience with marketing in New York hotels and digital marketing. And so just really wanted to hear a little bit about, what's going on in your world, particularly given New York City is so specifically hit at this time, right? So I'm interested, if you roll back 3-4 months ago, life was seeming pretty normal, what were the kind of projects that you were working on? What were the key things to achieve in 2020?
Yeah, so for us, it was really because we fought so hard for our budgets this year, which is so frustrating, was really driving more of the awareness and prospecting. Again, we love our loyal guests, and, how can we further get our name out there to new customers? So that was really our strategies for 2020, and driving that awareness, new customers to the properties, and, experience what we have to offer compared to what, our competitors are doing.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of, scaling back on a lot of those plans and, offering more experiential opportunities. So all of that has changed to really what the market is driving at this point, with so many hotels closing recently.
Yeah. And so bringing it, those, not in New York, what is the status in New York? Obviously, a lot of hotels must be closed. There must also be a lot that are supporting sort of first responders. Can you tell me a bit about which hotels have you got open? Do you have any open?
3 hotels open and 2 are closed, and really consolidating a lot of the team members. Some of the hotels did close in the beginning, but as we got more groups, a lot of the medical first responder staff looking for places to stay, we did open a couple of hotels to definitely host them. And, based on where you said you were located, one of them on the Upper East Side near a lot of the hospitals. So we are getting some, and some long-term people who, who've been living with us for a little while, or, people who had been renovating their apartments. So we do get some of that business as well. So just kind of consolidating, from the 5 hotels to the 3 hotels that we do have open now. But a lot of New York City, as you know, a lot of big properties, a lot of the larger brands did have to close just because, you can't keep these hotels open with such low occupancy.
A lot of the plans that you had are on hold at the moment in terms of digital marketing. As you think about the rest of the year, how are you beginning to think about what the right marketing strategy, approach, budget should be?
Yeah, so again, a lot of that's been scaled back. We are focusing on the drive market because, again, even personally, I have 2 kids. I don't see myself going on an airplane anytime soon. So probably, looking at more local places to go, exploring things a little bit closer to home, just until we get a better gauge of what's really going on. Trying to think what else. So it's the drive market, reaching out to our loyal customers. I think they're important. They know who we are. And, if they come back a couple of times, they might want to come back again. They know who we are. The loyalty piece, I think, is important. And then just focusing on, for us, it's, what channels drive the highest return, just because, once things start to open up again, we really need to focus and spend our money and budgets on the initiatives that will drive revenue right now, because we do need to make up for a lot of the loss from the first half of the year.
Yeah. Do you envisage it's going to be a case of, we'll spend little budgets in certain areas and we'll just see how it progresses and then we'll increase this? Is it going to be a, slow and steady bit by bit, or are there going to be some channels that you go, we believe in this one, so we're going to go fully?
Yeah, so we bucketed into phases. So really, based on historical, the channels that drove the highest return is what we will really turn on in phase 1. And then more of the prospecting awareness campaigns would be tied into phase 2 as the revenue starts to pick up. But really, it's driving, pushing on the top revenue drivers, because we do need to make up for the first half of the year.
Okay, got it. So when you say highest return, you specifically mean what's going to drive the most revenue, as opposed to necessarily the most the highest ROI. It's actual total revenue.
Yeah.
That you care about. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
For now, yeah, just because
yeah.
we're so behind in revenue.
Yeah, for sure. Any learnings from obviously the last downturn? Any things that sort of, as you look back at, well, what do we do and how did we? Because I imagine of different, if someone's in a resort far away from major cities, they might have a very different return to bookings than like New York City. New York City will, without question, have people booking, so people who need to come and visit. Any learnings from sort of the bounce back from last time about how you spent or where you felt you spent money wisely, or the hotels that did well then? Or
yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, we're focusing on people who know us, who would who know. It's really the loyalty piece that I think is important. People who have searched us before, people who know us, are reaching out to our CRM database. Because they already know us, word of mouth, they might have had a great stay, they might want to come back again. So I think that's really the big piece of it for now. Yeah. And then once our budgets kind of open up, we can focus on more of those awareness, new customers, I think.
Got it.
Social. So we paused social right now, for now.
Yeah.
Social advertising. We're driving the content, but the ads piece, once we kind of revamp our budgets again, we'll add some of that stuff in there.
Got it. Okay. And is it a time, are there any sort of like initiatives or things that were on the to-do list for a long time that now is a moment where you can go through things, or there's just, it feels like for a lot of people, particularly if they've got some properties closed, it's that sort of moment of, okay, now I can go back and do those projects that I've had to put off for a long time. Is it that?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yes, we are cleaning up the website. We are testing the site, taking a look at links, updating all of our content on the site, taking a look at all of our, ad copy for our paid search campaigns. So really, I feel like now is cleanup mode, as well as looking at, the different types of communications once people start traveling again. So we have kind of our spring, well, we're in spring, our summer messaging, but let's say travel doesn't come back by summer, we have fall in place. So it's really building out what that plan is, a plan A and a plan B, depending on, when a lot of these restrictions are lifted and people feel comfortable in coming back.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for talking us through it. Challenging times. I'm glad to hear that you've managed to keep 3 of the hotels open. That's a very good sign. And I hope they let you open up the other ones when it is appropriate for New York to do so, because obviously
exactly
it's a big topic